This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Tuesday, December 1st.
Well, Scott Lewis, Director of Emergency Management here in Nye County, reported at the November 16th Board of County Commissioners meeting. Lewis provided an update to the board regarding the status of COVID-19 outbreak.
Our COVID trajectory has continued to significantly elevate since Tuesday of last week, including additional deaths. Nye County continues to be in the flag status due to significant increases in COVID cases, and over the last week, almost every new case has occurred in Pahrump. Specifically, Pahrump has increased 113 since last Tuesday to 961. We have additional cases coming in for Amargosa. They are in the process of being recorded, and we also have additional cases coming in for Pahrump as I speak. For the purposes of this report, our subtotal is 1,060. As you recall, I told you we were approaching 1,000. We have now broached 1,000. Minus the antibody tests, those transferred to Clark County in 2 repeat cases. We are currently holding at 1035 cases, including the 21 deaths. The hospitalization in Pahrump has been challenged with experiences up to and including 90 to 95% capacity. Several Nye County cases remain on ventilators in Las Vegas-based hospitals. Our cases, like many others, have had several underlying medical conditions, including diabetes, cardiac and respiratory history. Our target hotspots now include a skilled nursing facility located in Pahrump. We still have hotspots in the educational system. However, I will tell you that the high school has returned back to the hybrid approach. However, additional grade schools and particular areas within the schools can be closed and have been closed at any point due to breakout. The secured facilities, both in northern Nye County as well as those in southern Nye County, including our local detention centers, have also become hotspots. Our religious centers have kind of quelled a little bit over the last 2 weeks, especially since actions were taken for some closures and some restrictions on extracurricular activities. Family gatherings and activities still remain a hot and top priority for not only the county but for the state. We are especially preparing for the upcoming holiday season, and we are also working to diligently prepare for a possible vaccination. With that in mind, we have a series of meetings with the state in order to have all of our key stakeholders who will be providing the vaccinations to our various Tier 1 recipients. That is underway with further reports and further meetings occurring tomorrow.
Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak is speaking out about statements President Trump made about a Nevada healthcare site. Today, Governor Sisolak issued the following statement in response to a tweet from President Trump, where Trump agrees with the false claim that Renown Hospital's alternate care site is, quote, fake. Governor Sisolak says, quote, for nearly 9 months, the state of Nevada has not only had to battle this pandemic, we have had to fight the president's nonstop attempts to politicize a virus that has led to more than 260,000 American deaths. Trump has said that the rhetoric around COVID-19 is connected, and Sisolak disagrees with that, saying that COVID-19 rhetoric is dangerous and reckless, and today's implications that Renown's alternate care site is, quote, a fake hospital is among the worst examples we've seen, according to Governor Sisolak. Sisolak also says it's unconscionable for Trump to continue to spread lies and sow distrust at a time when all Americans should be united during this historic public health crisis. Sisolak says enough is enough. Nevada's healthcare professionals continue to work around the clock to provide life-saving care to Nevadans during this pandemic, including standing up and starting an alternate care site in a parking garage to ensure access to medical care for all those who need it. Sisolak urges other political leaders to join him in condemning President Trump and his statements about the Nevada hospital.
Well, authorities are investigating the cause of a structure fire that destroyed a trailer at a home in Pahrump.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is trying to figure out what caused a fire at a home on Happy Lane near Wilson Road. This happened late Thanksgiving Day. Flames engulfed an unoccupied trailer on the property, and there was little firefighters could do to save the structure. No other buildings on the property were damaged. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units were called to assist at the scene, blocking off traffic in the area as fire crews worked the blaze.
All right, stay tuned to News 25. We'll be back with much more local news.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Pahrump Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 10,054, open to our veterans and our community. Stop by or give them a call.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, a familiar face is on track to become the first woman to head the Treasury Department. Nikola shares tank after GM drops its equity stake in the startup. And Salesforce.com is ready to buy work app Slack. Here's your financial details.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Top of your news, it's official. Former head of the Fed, Janet Yellen, is President-elect Joe Biden's pick to become the next Treasury Secretary. If approved by the Senate, she becomes the first female leader of the Treasury. Yellen says in a tweet, she will work every day toward helping everyone realize their potential and dream. Traders who are shorting shares of electric car company Nikola made about $400 million to start the week, according to MarketWatch. Nikola's shares tanked after GM disclosed it's dropping its equity stake in the startup and has no plans to build Nikola's electric pickup truck, the Badger. And Salesforce.com is expected to reveal its deal to buy work app Slack today. CNBC's David Faber says it's likely to be a cash and stock deal.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
All right. Well, back to local news. We had a recent arrest of a man who was taken into custody after a domestic battery led to a strangulation.
On November 13th at approximately 11 p.m., deputies were dispatched to an address in Pahrump for a report of a domestic. Deputies made contact with the reporting person upon arrival, who stated that her fiancé, identified as Aaron Sharon, had allegedly punched her in the face numerous times and had choked her to the point that she could not breathe. She also said that Sharon allegedly smashed her head against a metal frame inside the house. The victim said that Sharon was suicidal and that he possibly had a handgun inside the residence. Deputies did notice injuries on the victim that were consistent with a physical altercation. The victim was taken to Desert View Hospital for her injuries. The reporting person had given her consent for deputies to make entry inside the home. However, there was a bear trap on the front door of the residence and multiple vicious dogs inside. Sharon refused to answer the door or come outside of the home after multiple commands. A warrant was granted for the property and SWAT was activated to the scene due to the vicious animals and the bear trap. SWAT gained entry into the residence to carry out the search warrant and apprehended Sharon. The suspect was read his Miranda warning. Sharon advised that he had been drinking and the victim had started to hit him in the face with her fist and kick him in the stomach. Sharon did allegedly admit to smacking the victim in the face. Deputies did not observe injuries on his count of the events. Deputies placed Sharon into custody and arrested him for domestic battery by strangulation. He was transported to Nye County Detention Center without further incident.
And another man is taken into custody on suspicion of DUI after a rollover crash in the north side of Pahrump.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue was called to a single-vehicle rollover crash near the intersection of Mesquite Avenue and Woodchips Road Saturday afternoon. Firefighters had to help rescue the passenger from the overturned vehicle. That man was transported by ambulance to Mercy Air, then flown to a Las Vegas hospital for treatment of his injuries. The driver did not claim any injuries at the scene, but did undergo a battery of field sobriety tests before being taken to jail on suspicion of driving under the influence. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating the crash. No other vehicles were involved.
And one person was injured in a single vehicle crash at Homestead and Mans Road here in town.
A man was hurt late Saturday afternoon after driving his Dodge pickup off the roadway and into desert brush along Homestead Road. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue medics assisted the victim at the scene, and he was transported by ambulance to Desert View Hospital for treatment of his injuries. That man was the only occupant in the vehicle. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating what caused the driver to lose control of the truck.
And failure to yield appears to be the cause of a north side crash.
Two vehicles sustained major damage after a collision at the intersection of Blagg Road and Irene Street in Pahrump. This happened Wednesday night. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue crews were called to assist at the scene, though no injuries were reported at the time of the crash. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating. Officers told News 25 that the red Mustang made a left-hand turn in front of an oncoming vehicle identified as a Ford Taurus.
And as you know, it was a busy holiday weekend. Another accident, a missed turn, leads to a crash on Highway 160 near Gamebird Road.
A woman driving a Volkswagen sedan on Highway 160 near Gamebird Road last Wednesday night drove off the roadway and crashed into a culvert. Authorities at the scene say the woman had missed her turn and was attempting to make a U-turn when she ran off the road. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue was dispatched to assist at the scene, though neither occupant in the vehicle claimed any injuries at the time of the crash. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating.
And we're urging you to please be careful out there on the roadways because a two-vehicle crash on the south side leaves minor damage but serious injuries to one other vehicle. Fortunately, no one was reportedly seriously injured.
Sunday afternoon, a Mitsubishi sedan collided with a Jeep Gladiator at the intersection of Homestead Road and Easy Street. The car took the brunt of the impact, sustaining moderate front-end damage. All occupants were able to walk away with no reported injuries, and two dogs who were riding in the bed of the Jeep also escaped without injury. It's unclear what caused the crash. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue also assisted at the scene.
Glad that the dogs and people are okay.
Yes, please be careful out there this holiday season.
Well, we'll be back in just a moment with more news.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. KPVM-TV, Ace Country Radio, and Quality Signs and Designs are bell ringing for the Salvation Army tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. and also December 8th from 5 to 7 at our Walmart here in Pahrump. Stop on by and see us.
And the race continues to release a COVID-19 vaccine, but right now most of the drug trials are focused on adults. While kids can get infected too, Cleveland Clinic doctors also say that many don't want children in that research.
We well recognized during this pandemic that most of the problems are in adults and that children are not resistant, but they're more resilient. All right, children can still get infected and they can still get very sick, but thankfully not nearly in the numbers that we see in adults.
Dr. Frank Esper is a pediatric infectious disease specialist with Cleveland Clinic Children's. He says it's not uncommon for drug trials to focus on adults first. That's because there are more layers of protection required for kids, which can be time-consuming. Another reason is that children are still growing, so trials have to be separated by several age groups, and that means more participants are needed. However, with adults, they can categorize them more easily. Lastly, he says it's harder to enroll children in research studies. You can enroll many adults fairly quickly into a vaccine trial, but it takes much longer to get enough children, and time is of the essence when it comes to developing a COVID-19 vaccine.
Children's immune systems are growing up just like they are. So there is a big difference between a 2-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 92-year-old in their immune system. And so you can't just say all children are the same. You actually have to test specific age groups of children.
Dr. Esper says we won't be able to fully control the pandemic until there's a vaccine for all ages. Right now, adults are the priority, but he's confident studies involving children are on the way.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler on location on Highway 160, the Walmart. Hey, check it out. Tonight from 5 to 7, KPVM is going to be on location here, and we're going to be the bell ringers down by the pharmacy side of the store. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just like kind of on my bucket list. I always wanted to be like a fireman and a cop and the guy that rang the bell at the Salvation Army. Tonight I get my chance. This is exciting. Come on by and see us. We'll also be doing it probably December 8th right here, same location for a couple hours. We'll let you know about that, and we'll let you know about the weather and everything you can expect this week when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studio, celebrating a birthday tonight of Bette Midler. Saw her show in Vegas a few years ago. Excellent work, Bette. Still loved it. Born on the state in 1945. Also, Madame Tussaud, born on the state in 1791. I'm not sure she's still with us. I'm thinking probably not. I don't know. Yeah. Nice museum anyway, and world-class stuff going on there. Hey, check out Fernley today. 46 degrees for a high, 17 for a low. Out in Fallon, you're all the way up to 48. Wow! 12 degrees for a low tonight. In Carson City, similar temperatures, 48 and 18 for a low. Tonopah, there's all the way up to 49 for a high today, 16 degrees for a low as we approach morning. In Goldfield, you're at 51 degrees for a high mark today, 17 for a low. Beatty, 64 is your high temperature, a little bit cooler right this second. It'll cool off a little more, all the way down to freezing temperatures tonight in Beatty, 32 degrees. Amargosa, you're looking at 68 degrees for a high today and all the way down to 35. No need for concern, really. 35, not too bad. Hey, Las Vegas, 67 degrees. Room temperature is all you got for Vegas. Well, that's all right. 41 degrees for a low. And out in Death Valley, it was 71 degrees with 46 for a low. Watch this move. Woo! Local temperature 57 degrees currently, and we got all the way up to 66 degrees here in the paradise of Pahrump. Little wind, east southeasterly winds to 6 miles per hour. Did no harm. 12% humidity as we speak, and the sun rose this morning at 6:36 a.m. Set this evening at 4:28 p.m. And so we'll be plunging into darkness further and further for the next 3 weeks. We'll turn that around about December 21st, winter solstice, and pick up some daylight. That'll be always nice. Low temperature tonight, 35 degrees under clear skies. Should be beautiful stars. Humidity up to 25%, but that don't do us no harm. Hey, let's look at the rest of the week, shall we? Pretty moderate temperatures, not too bad. 59 degrees, sneaking all the way up to 65 by week's end. And the lows sneaking up from a 32 and 29 low tomorrow on the low end all the way up to 41 by Tuesday. So we're seeing a gradual weather trend towards the warm. The winds will stay calm. The skies will be clear. The air will be pure, and all is good in the county of Nye. There's your weather report. Back to the desk. Here's Unette and Deanna.
All right, today's the National Day of Giving. Head over to Walmart now with your wallet for the Salvation Army. Good night.
Good night.